I'm really happy with it. I mean, I'm genuinely excited by this film when I saw it for the first time. I was completely delighted by the humour in it, actually. Not only is it very tense and suspenseful, but it's got this sort of wonderful release of this humour all the way through. You know, it's pretty amazing, I think, to have a movie where you have an atrocious murder in the first minutes of the film, and then after about 7 minutes, you've got this wonderful big laugh and this release when Jack Reacher comes in. You know, they're talking about, you know, how are we ever going to find this man? And the next minute he's coming through the door. I think it's very cool. I think, you know, it's a big action movie, which is going to satisfy on that level, and then it's got all the sort of unexpected cool of a sort of indie thriller as well. It's got the look, it's got a very classic look to it, which I think surprises people because some of the marketing hasn't all been in that direction, you know. I read some of Lee Child's novels, yeah. I mean, they're really gripping. I mean, they're really, really good books. So when you start reading them, you kind of want to read them all because Jack Reacher is such a compelling character. I mean, he's truly brilliant, and he's attractive and mysterious, and you know, it's wonderful to read about a character who you can't fully get a handle on. You know, someone who's free in a completely different way because he has no needs, he has no possessions. He travels through our kind of overly policed world, you know, incognito, and it's very, very hard to do that. You know, leaving no trace of where he's been, where he's going to, no plane tickets, no mobile phone records. He travels by bus, he pays cash only. You don't see him, you know, he takes cash from, you know, from the bank. You don't even, you know, so occasionally you see where he's taken money out, but that's the only record of where he's been. Never travels by plane, never leaves the country. Oh, he's amazing. Tom Cruise is a really extraordinary guy. I mean, he works harder than any actor I've ever worked with. He's very, very nice, he's warm, he's engaged. You know, all the things, you know, not only does he not disappoint when you meet him, you know, he really is the man who's created all those iconic characters. You know, he is the man who was in Risky Business and Top Gun and The Colour of Money and Born on the 4th of July, and he walks into the room and he's all those characters rolled into one. But he's also very generous with his time and energy, and he's supportive, and you ask him a direct question, you get a direct answer. He's easy to talk to, easy to be around, and easy to work with. Funny, charming. I mean, I can't fault him, really. Oh, we watch lots. I mean, Tom Cruise is a real cinephile. You know, he loves cinema, he loves movies, and it's kind of amazing that an actor who's made so many terrific movies is still looking for inspiration from other people's work, is still thinking, oh man, that moment in that film is brilliant, I want to, you know, take something like that and put it in our movie. We watched a lot of films, and we watched things from Hitchcock, we watched Notorious, or I mean, all kinds of Hitchcock films, particularly that one because of the relationship between Ingrid Bergman and Cary Grant, the kind of dynamic and the chemistry and the speed of the dialogue. And then we watched lots of 70s films, the Thomas Crown Affair and 3 Days of the Condor and Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. We were interested in the way action is put, the conversation, the French Connection, interested in the way action is portrayed, and also the way the dynamic between the male-female leads happens. Helen Roden is a lawyer. She's a good lawyer. She's not a brilliant lawyer. I think what makes it interesting, this part, is that we're seeing a lawyer on the brink of losing control, someone who's out of her depth. She's taken on a case for personal reasons, really to go up against her father, that she's not fully in control of. She's chosen to defend a man who the whole town needs to believe is guilty. A horrible murder has happened in her hometown, and she chooses to defend the man who everybody wants to see go down. And she's not really quite good enough to do it. And Jack Reacher comes into town, and he's brilliant. So she has this difficult relationship with a man who tests her to her very limits. You know, he's a completely maverick thinker, an original thinker. She's a sort of by-the-book lawyer, and she sees where he's going. She's inspired by it, but she doesn't quite have the personal courage to go there. And I think that creates drama for me. You know, she's a lawyer who I think we don't see enough of in film. Someone who's a real woman. We understand her dilemmas and the fact that she's allowed her personal life to kind of invade her professional life.